Hello, Dr. Laurie Coger. How are you today?
I am great. How about you?
I'm all right. I thought I'd do this video to talk about, the pandemic or people's fears and worries. I don't think we necessarily have to focus on this particular one. It's just happened, and it's so novel to us. How do we respond? For those who don't know you, could you tell us a little bit about you and what you do? I know, obviously, but
Yes. I'm an integrative veterinarian based in Albany, New York, and I practice part time at a traditional practice where I am the holistic or integrative vet there,
yeah.
along with a colleague who does a lot of Chinese medicine. And I also do distance consultations and run the Northeast's largest dog health expo, the Healthy Dog Expo,
That is
which was
amazing what you
affected
do. Yeah, we'll put
it
all the
was
links for
affected
everyone.
by this
Yeah,
pandemic.
yeah,
My original date was April 3rd and 4th, and now we are in October when all of this stuff will be over and done with.
yeah, yeah. So, what are your feelings on it? What's happening with the I'm calling it COVID-19 or coronavirus. As far as I know, I saw something. I'm just going to go from what I've read. I'm just going to go from the kind of the punter's angle, not any science in my head. So what I've seen is that we've been vaccinating cows from coronavirus for a very long time. So there's many different types of coronaviruses. Is it linked to SARS or this sort of thing? Do you know much about it?
Not that I'm aware of, but they're comparing, pandemics, epidemics, um,
From
of the
past.
various types, from the plague to modern day.
Yeah.
And yes, there's a huge family of coronaviruses that affect various species, cattle and cats being some of the most common.
Mm.
In dogs, coronavirus is often a co-infection with parvovirus, and
Ah.
but really doesn't cause much disease itself on its
Yeah.
own.
So do you know why this is different? Why are people panicking so much about dogs? Can dogs get infected? Do we know? Is it a hard line in the sand? No, they're not going to pass it to us. Is it zootonic? Do we know these things yet?
We know some. We know it probably originated in the wet markets in China. It jumps species, and it does seem to have a very long incubation period, which is one of the reasons it's spreading so effectively because people don't know they're sick
Yeah.
and they're already spreading it.
Yeah.
And it is fairly easily spread.
Yeah.
But it does, people are saying it lives in the environment for weeks, which is, as I understand it, not true.
Yeah.
Probably lives in the environment less than 24 hours.
Mm.
And it's easily removed with soap and water.
Yeah. That easy. That old
That
trick.
easy.
And we were just talking before we started recording, saying at the moment people are saying they're running out of liquid soap. Oh my God, what are we going to do? And it's like there's bars of soap, right? So
Exactly.
it's like we absolutely know that there's bars of soap, and it's like we can just use those, can't we?
Absolutely. Soap and water. You can make your own hand sanitizer with alcohol and aloe gel, rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
Um, and just don't be foolish.
Yeah.
You know, don't go around people who are sick. If you're feeling ill, stay home.
Yeah.
Common sense.
Yeah,
Common sense.
absolute common sense. So, what are your feelings? Because obviously you're in the you're on the front line in the hospital. You can't just say, "I don't think I'll treat your dog today. I feel a bit nervous about it." You can't do that. So, what are you doing personally as a precaution? Are you doing anything? Just keep yourself healthy, or
Keep yourself healthy. Get your sleep. Don't get run down.
yeah,
Try to de-stress.
mm,
And of course, as I was in the throes of trying to reschedule my event, I felt my stress level going through the roof.
yeah, and then you're
And
susceptible to getting something. Yeah,
exactly, and I wasn't sleeping well. And so, it's time to amp up your meditation habits, grab your herbal tea, go for a walk, whatever works for you
yeah.
to just breathe.
Yeah, that's
Because
great advice. Great advice. I know it sounds like really simple, everyone, but it really is important that we are the. I'm always saying, be the captain of your ship. We get very focused on our pets. Will my dog be all right? Will my cat be all right? What am I going to do? But if we focus on our own health, then we're a good way there because we are strong enough to be able to look after them if things go wrong. And I suppose we do have to do a bit of preparing, I guess.
Yes, definitely. And I make sure I made sure my freezer was full for my dogs first and
Mm-hmm.
foremost.
Yeah.
You
Get
know,
your
because
priorities right. I love
get
that.
your priorities right, and
And you are a raw feeder,
us,
aren't you? You feed a raw fresh
I am a
diet.
raw feeder. Yes,
Absolutely. Brilliant. I should have been said that. Yes.
yes. I've been raw feeding for almost 25 years.
Oof.
Uh,
Yeah, it's a long
so
time.
I started off with the Volhard diet plan, which was one of the pioneers of
Yeah.
raw feeding. Um, But one thing I did as a raw feeder think about is, what if I run out? And so I laid in some tins of sardines, some non-perishables that my dogs can get by on or that I can use to stretch my
Yeah.
raw out.
Yeah.
And that's just fact of life, even though, I mean, you
Yeah.
will never see me with a bag of kibble.
No.
You might see me feeding canned or tin things or
Yep.
frozen things if
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah. So, what are the 5 things? If you had to name 5, I've put you on the spot here. If you
Uh-huh.
had to name 5 things that you could add to stretch in to your raw food, what would you say?
Canned sardines,
Yep, that's a good one.
water, as low salt as possible, but I don't panic about the salt because I'm not feeding them every meal.
Yeah.
Eggs, if I can get them.
Yep.
Uh,
You could go for a duck egg as well, or any other
oh,
egg. It doesn't have to be hen's eggs, does it? We get a bit
it does
hooked up on
not.
that.
And actually, one of my veterinary technicians has a flock of chickens and ducks.
Wow, that's
And
lucky.
oh,
That's
so
handy. I like
I say,
that.
hey, bring me some eggs, and these beautiful eggs come.
Yeah.
So I have a source. Um, what else would I use? Of course, right now, produce is still easy to get.
Yeah.
So I do feed a small amount of veggies, so I'm not particularly panicked about that.
Mhm.
But I can always get frozen veggies if I need them.
Yeah. True.
Frozen fish
Yeah, that's a good idea.
are,
That's a good one. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I will feed some dairy. So
Yeah.
usually I have some kefir or kefir, however you
Yeah.
prefer to pronounce it.
Yeah. So how
Uh,
do you pronounce it? I say kefir, but do you say kefir in the States?
a lot of people say kefir. I was
Yeah.
taught kefir.
I was taught
Um,
kefir because I thought Kiefer was like Kiefer Sutherland, just as I.
very good. Very
24,
good. Yeah.
Hi, Kiefer, if
Um,
you're watching.
yes. Hi. uh, So I'll feed some dairy to stretch it. You can get canned salmon, canned jack mackerel, canned oysters
Yeah.
very easily. I don't know that I would go to canned chicken. I'd have to be pretty desperate.
Yeah, and I think as
Um,
well, something I
Tuna.
really wanted to say is like calm down with the pasta and the rice. There's a lot of that going on at the moment.
Oh,
For
oh,
dogs, adding
oh,
that,
yeah. No, I wouldn't. But
no.
it's interesting. When I was at the market yesterday, uh, the pasta shelves are bare
I know.
for the humans, and it's like, guys, don't carb up. You will hate yourself.
Yeah, 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 that's so true. And it's like, you'd all be asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Wake
Exactly.
up, wake up. It's interesting, isn't it? Like you said, oh no, I wouldn't go to the sort of the rice and the pasta for my dog as a stretcher or as to add it in. But it is interesting that you're saying that because I think that's one of people's first thoughts. They'll do that to stretch the food. But actually, you're
Yeah.
probably doing a little bit more harm than good. And dogs can be fasted. And they are okay
Yeah.
with less food for a long time, aren't they?
Yes, and the other thing you made me think of is canned pumpkin would be
Oh,
the stretcher I would go to
yeah,
if I wanted to add some fiber or I wanted to add a
yeah.
carb or I was desperate, canned pumpkin.
Yeah. Funny enough, I have a little trick. I do cook, like we have butternut squashes in the
Hmm.
UK or like a pumpkin, and I cook them whole in the oven, and then I've actually put them whole in the freezer. And you can
Oh,
actually just,
interesting.
yeah, just take a bit off of it when you want. It's really easy. It's like
That
no
is.
fuss, no chopping, because I'm so lazy. That's perfect for me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We have, squashes of various types are plentiful here.
Yeah, and courgettes and things like that. If you have to go there, you can actually freeze them whole. You can blanch them and freeze
Sure.
them whole. They're absolutely fine. So we don't, it's just what you can get hold of and a little bit of planning. But please, I think the country's going to be okay for food. I think
I
this.
think so. And I read an interesting piece from ABC News that said 70% of the Chinese folks that were infected have recovered
Yeah,
and are not in the hospital anymore.
yeah,
And that's a comforting statistic
yeah.
that
That's
they
huge.
weathered
Actually,
the
that's
storm. It's
huge.
huge.
Yeah, I mean, we may moan about the way it's being handled and things like that, but someone's got to be in charge and someone's got to make the decisions, and we have to also make our own decision. If a match is on, or a hockey match or something, not that it's going to be, but if it was on, we make the decision for ourselves. Do I have a cough or a cold, or am I a little bit low on my own immunity? Should I go? Should I not? I think it's about making those decisions. But we can still walk our pets, can't we? We can still walk the dog, right? We can go out.
Yeah. There's no reason to not go for a walk somewhere.
Yeah.
They're saying keep a social distance, which is 6 feet. How far a person can cough the virus or breathe the virus out. Yeah. Don't, and they're discouraging handshakes and such.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we can do that. Yeah. Easy enough.
Yeah, I mean, the social distancing side of it is very, very important. I think, the touching and the communication, and, if you go to the supermarket, like you said, you make your own little hand sanitizer, but you did wash your hands when you get home. Try not to pick your nose or put your fingers in your mouth. It's a good habit not to do, right?
Correct.
So it's not a bad thing for us all. And also, it's with our dogs and that, we can go for a walk, we can wave to the people in the park. And, many of us do have a reactive dog. We're keeping that social distance anyway.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's nothing new to us. We're like, hi, don't come any closer, bye. We've got a reason now.
Exactly. Yeah. That's a side benefit of, the people who are walking their dogs and their dog is friendly.
Yeah.
Yours has space requirements. It's like, they're not approaching you now. It's a gift.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So should we be worried about our dogs and cats from this virus? We think we're calm, we're
Right now, this virus is not affecting dogs.
Yeah.
They did culture it from one dog, so in Hong Kong.
A Pomeranian that was like 15 years old, didn't they? Yeah, they said it had a mild reaction, yeah.
Yeah, and just because the virus is in there doesn't mean it's infective.
Yeah.
So, I'm not worried at all about our dogs right now.
Yeah. So to round up, have you got any tips?
Stay calm, and be thoughtful. Don't panic, but use common sense.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's simple.
Yeah. A question I wanted to ask was, if you became unwell with this virus, what do you have in place set up? Obviously, we've talked about you've got plenty of food in and all the things we can do to stretch the raw food that you have in. Do you have family? Do you have work colleagues? How would it work? Have you sort of thought about that?
Yeah, I have a dog sitter that I would use, but I think that's a really important point, especially for elderly folks who may live alone with a pet.
Yeah.
They need to have a pet caretaker of some type in place. So whether it's a cat sitter, someone who comes to your house once or twice a day, or, a prearranged boarding situation, or, friends or family, what have you.
Yeah.
Very important to know who to call. And of course, if you're sick at home, hopefully you're not that sick that you can't care for your dog or cat.
Yeah.
But, good contingency plan. Well, again, drop your stress load, which is so important for you.
Not releasing that cortisol all over the place and stressing your dogs out as well, and cats, which causes more issues, doesn't it? They pick up on all of that, don't they?
They do. They do, absolutely.
I understand from the recent, we're calling it pandemic at the moment, that you've had to move the dates for your event. Can you tell me a bit about when it's going to be and what's happening?
Sure. And you're going to get the exclusive announcement. We had to change the dates. This is a surprise. No one knows this yet.
Wow.
It's to change the date to October 24th and 25th.
So October
we're in
the 24th, 25th. Perfect.
Yes, and the same site, so same hotel. So all you have to do is change your travel arrangements, and the hotel is actually calling people to move their dates, which is wonderful. All of our main speakers are good with that date. It was quite a challenge to find a venue.
That's amazing.
And yes. So Rodney will be there. Dr. Becker will be there. Susan Garrett will be there. Susan Thixton will be there. Dr. Kendra Pope, unfortunately, is speaking in Oregon. So she will not. She will come next year. but I got not one, but two replacements.
Go on.
So I have Cole Harrington coming.
Woo! Is he going to come and speak? Wow, fantastic.
He is not only going to speak, he is going to share some never aired before clips of what he's been working on for both Pet Food 2 and for his new Pet Schooled program.
Yeah, Pet Schooled is fantastic. He's very, very cool. Very cool, that guy. Yeah, very cool.
That is a master class of pet health learning. And he's delving into some really cool ecological farming, agriculture, all stuff that's food.
Yeah.
So Cole will be there. And I just booked Dr. Karen Gelman, who is going to speak on CBD.
Oh, fantastic.
Dr. Gelman is a veterinarian and a PhD, so she's what we call a double doctor.
Yeah.
From Cornell.
Yeah.
And she has started a CBD line of her own that she's only selling to veterinarians, so you cannot buy her product.
Right.
But she is so knowledgeable about CBD.
Yeah.
And she also does a chiropractic type technique that she'll be talking on probably next year.
Yeah.
So I feel for everyone who's having to change their travel, and there are a few people who can't make the date. But I'm doing everything I can to make it even better with this additional time that I have.
That's absolutely fabulous. And shall I tell you something really exciting? Those dates I can actually make.
Oh, you must come. You must come.
So those dates are actually... Florian, do you fancy going to New York?
Yeah.
I tell you what, I can't believe that you've moved it to that and now it's possible for me to come. So how exciting.
Well, yeah. It's going to be great.
I know it's not great for everybody. There may be one or two people, but there will be more. You're not just going to stop here. You're going to keep going, aren't you?
I am. We're already trying to set dates for next year, and I'm working on a very, very exciting lead speaker.
Okay.
Who I can't name.
Okay.
But
great.
We're going big. We're going
You're
big.
going to speak, aren't you? Are you going to speak?
No, I'm busy organizing.
Okay.
There's no way I could do both.
I just want to see you and give you a hug. I don't care about the rest.
Well, I'll be there. I'm moving into the hotel for the weekend.
I bet. Sounds good. I bet you're going to be. That's going to be good. And this has been a bit of a tough time, and things being moved, and I'm sure it's been extremely stressful. But well done you for organising it and getting it back, and the fact that everybody, more or less everybody, can be there and still continue to speak. So that's amazing. So,
yeah, it was a little rocky, but I can't thank my speakers and the hotel and everybody enough, because everybody just pitched in and we found a way to make it work.
Yeah, that's amazing. And the hotel's been really good as well, haven't they? So that's absolutely awesome. So well, hopefully I'll see you in October then.
Oh, outstanding.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.